Good morning, good morning. So, remember yesterday, while I was finishing my walk, my phone actually died, unfortunately. I did promise you that I would come back out to the trail today um, with the snow. I am about halfway through my walk right now, but um, I had to kind of stop because I saw these guys and they are a bit camouflaged. I think they see me, but they haven't ran away yet. So I'm gonna stay here for a little while and take a look at them and see what strange and amazing things they are going to do. The amazing thing is they're probably gonna jump over all those tree branches and the little white tails are gonna spur in the air and they're gonna take off running. But as of right now, they're just kind of still chilling and enjoying. It's about 7 or 8 of them. I'm not sure how well you can spot them through the camouflage. It's really good camouflage though. And there's one guy, cow. Nature is so amazing. I often wonder about these creatures, and now it's so cold outside, and we gotta keep them warm. And they've when you realize that them and nature has perfectly evolved to ensure their survivability in the snow, you're so amazed in that their fur sheds and they have this thicker fur that helps them to stay warm. As humans, it's weird. Our fur doesn't shed, and I don't know. Does our skin get thicker in the winter? Do we grow more hair in the winter? I'm not sure. I mean, I guess we could tend to cut it off. Men have beards and other things that they shave, but it's probably all a part of survival. Because we have shelter, we don't think about why our bodies do what it does. I have, because the sky's kind of cloudy, my ability to, my internet maybe, or Wi-Fi might be a bit choppy. My apologies. So when they see me and it's not a full surprise and I'm far enough in that they don't sense any danger. They tend to kind of stay and hang out and eat and find food. But when they do spot me and I'm getting too close too fast, that's when they like to pick a quick escape route. Thank you for hitting the like button, and good morning. I'm also walking through the snow blindly, close to the creek, but hoping that, I don't kind of fall through and hit the water. How much fun that would be. See if I can find a better view of them. I think this is a better one. They have 4-chambered stomachs, which is why during the winter they're able to survive. They, eat food and store it in one part of their stomach, and that part's able to break it down and go through the different cycles. And you watch them and you wonder, like, what's on that tree that he's eating and or she's eating. It's a girl. Is it berries, nuts? Just licking the snow. Oh. Yeah, so I think my video just disconnected, and now I'm reconnected, but look how they're just... Oh, that wasn't... That's weird. I thought they would have heard that click and ran, but they didn't. They're still there. Oh no. I hear the dog. So I was walking this morning, and this young lady had her dogs, 2 of them. Both of them weren't on a leash. Usually makes me a little nervous because I'm not sure how people train their dogs at home. She did walk further into the woods to kind of reassure me, and this time they did not chase me, so that was good. And I think around the spot yesterday, someone's dog may have been left outside on the porch. They were pretty loud. But as of right now, how close can I get? See the creek? I'm really not getting any closer because walking across is going to be not as fun. You know, if this was the summer, it would be too thick to kind of walk through. But the great thing is the snow. You know, she's got her head down and I think she sees me. She saw me, but she doesn't care. You know, her other buddies are right there. Not sure if you can see them, but they're hidden in there. And they know I'm pretty close, because they've all spotted me, but they're not running. They're relaxing. I think maybe they know that this creek's between myself and them, and that there's no way she's crossing to come over and mess with us, right? They're so smart. So smart. I think they're all planning their escape. Yeah, you see me. You see me. I'm not a troublemaker. You don't have to leave. They just told her, you've got to go. So they're slowly planning their escape. And it's just me. Maybe a few birds. Hi. I see there's like now they are getting further away. She seems to be the bravest because she's still standing there. but I do see the rest of the herd just slowly migrating away from this spot. Hi. Hi. You're not afraid, are you? No. And there she goes. So I'm gonna go back up to the main trail and see. Another herd. But as I was saying yesterday, this just definitely looks like another landscape. Walking through just feels like the visual stimulation of the snow and the physical aspect of inhaling the cold, fresh air. It just kind of wakes you up, and it's almost cleansing to the soul. I feel cleaner breathing this beautiful air. I'm gonna finish the trail. I have to go through a tunnel, however, but it's always really nice just looking at the snow-covered limbs and the trees and the homes, and I feel like I'm in a Christmas movie almost. Usually I'm a runner. I like to run. It's my hobby. And I am just always so impressed when I see other people that are runners out running in the snow. I just feel like I'm so clumsy that if I start running, I'm probably going to fall. I think this might cut out a bit when I go in the tunnel, but it should pop back on once I make through. It's a short tunnel, but because this tunnel's here, I definitely do not run at night. Again, because it can be a bit creepy walking through there. Hopefully I didn't cut out for too long. And again, I apologize if the visuals aren't the greatest today. Much better when it's a sunny day because the clouds aren't covering the satellites and cell towers and whatever else they're using to shoot this internet to my phone. But I'm always so happy to share my walks with you. It feels great having you guys come along with me. As you can see, it's snow, it's not as busy on the trail, and so as a woman, I do worry about someone with nefarious intent, and I feel so much safer having you walk with me. because there's someone always watching. I don't know if you can, how well you can hear the birds, but it's lovely. Hearing the different sounds, and it's like natural therapy. Coming outside and walking in the snow and looking at nature and the change. And you know, when you think about the fall, and there's a part of when you see the leaves and they're falling and there are all these different beautiful colors, orange and browns and all the different shades of nature, and walking through and seeing them fall from the trees, it feels good because the visual stimulates, you know, endorphins. You're watching the leaves fall and you're like, man, this is beautiful. You're in awe at the visual that nature has essentially created for you. And these are the things that, you know, Hollywood and the movies take and put on camera, and for those who aren't able to kind of come out and enjoy it, they can enjoy it through the movies. But there's a part when the leaves have finally kind of rotted away and the trees are bare and the death, it's a bit depressing, right? You're walking through and there's still beauty in it. It's a bit depressing, but there's still beauty in it, and you're watching the trees and the limbs, and then, like yesterday, like it was nice, but you know, it being cloudy overhead and no sun, it definitely takes away a little bit of the enjoyment. But it's such a vast difference between yesterday and today. You look and you see the sun's not here, but the snow covering the trees and the limbs and the grass. It provides this extra layer of stimulation that takes away from the death and dreariness. The snow, it brightens up. It's joyful. You know, and you think about children, and when they play in it and make their snowmen and throw their snowballs and sled down the hills, which I still like to do as an adult, so I can't squarely say only children do that. There's some teenagers out here enjoying it too. So. When I reach the end of the trail, I'll be at about 2 miles, a little over 2. And it's always fun to walk out and explore and, you know, burn some calories. But I will say, I always remember that I have to go back. And so, you know, I walk out as far as I can, and super up close. Much better. But yeah, I totally have to walk back. Oh, the birds are out. They're definitely not deterred by the snow. Yeah, I definitely have to research what the birds are. If anyone knows, if you can let me know what type of bird it is, it'd be wonderful. But I will take a picture and snap and do some searching on Google. Which will allow me to archive. You know, sometimes that works and sometimes it don't, because I'll be like, hey, what's the name of this bird? And then, you know, they'll show me like 6 other birds that look exactly the same. And I'm trying to figure out, it's this mockingjay? That's even an actual bird, or is that just from the Hunger Games? Best series, by the way. Now I'm hoping I see the fox, but yesterday when my camera died, I was walking back home, and there was this beautiful little red fox just sitting in the middle of the trail. I think maybe it had been watching me for a little while, because when I finally looked up and saw him, it took off running as if he was stalking me instead of me stalking him, like I usually do. And at the end, well, not exactly the end, this trail goes on for miles, but I've reached a fork in the road, and this is where I make the decision if I keep going left, right, or if I turn around, which I think I'm going to turn around, because the shortest route back is the way I came. I had one of my gloves off because not high tech, and I can't necessarily manage the phone with the glove, and so I had to put it on, which is why I saw that movement. But headed back home now, decided not to go left or right, but to go backwards. I think usually you hear keep moving forward, never go back, but definitely know that going back, I'm going to see some more of those beautiful deer that I love. So, I'm going to go back towards them. Yeah. What I enjoy most about this area is that, I don't necessarily have to travel to see something different. I love vacations, I do. Favorite place to vacation is on the beach. However, if I want some snow, I don't necessarily have to go to Pennsylvania. Go to the mountains. I can walk through here and enjoy it. If I want beautiful summer greenery and wildflowers, I don't necessarily have to go anywhere. I can just take a walk when it's the summertime, because coming through here in the summer, it's almost like you're in a different world. It's just amazing how different everything looks. And if I want a nice fall, Halloween, come through here and see the leaves falling and the orange colors and the browns and the tans, and it's visually stimulating. So having all the seasons here, it's one of the things I love the most about living in this area. And looking at the waterways and the creeks, and how, in the summer they're flowing and they make this beautiful sound. It's peaceful. Stand and watch and listen. In the winter, they're frozen. Gives you another element to when I walk through here, I see like the outlines of old brick housing. And it's definitely, I wonder what used to be there. Someone used to live there. Someone's home used to be there. And at some point, I'm sure, land was confiscated by the state. But like that brick structure there, it's just kind of in the middle of nowhere and overgrown. They get warmed up a bit, and so now you have more people out here. Hear those trees, the birds. Did you know that the winter coat of a deer is usually darker in color than their summer coat? You know why that is? It's because it actually helps them to absorb the heat from the sun. So, it kind of resonates back to what humans do when they say, don't wear black in the summertime because you're going to overheat. Or, don't wear white in the summertime, in the wintertime, because it's going to bounce off the sun. And, nature itself is essentially doing the same thing, because the deer have darker coats in the winter that absorbs the heat, and lighter coats in the summer that reflects the sunlight to keep them cooler. It's always amazing to kind of connect those facts and to fully understand why. Because I always thought, I see two 2 deers down the hill, but they're a bit far, and I don't know if, yeah, they're a bit far, and I'm not sure if you can see them because I think they're kind of camouflaged. Let's go down a little closer. See, I don't want to fall. Yeah, they're pretty far in on the hill. Listen to the quiet. The quiet. When I walk on the actual trail on the asphalt, or the crunching of the snow is not as loud as when I'm on the bridges, which I'm assuming it's the wood. Oh, it's the whole family of them. I see them. Not sure if you can. Right, the one I'm looking at, it's using its legs to dig into the snow. I don't see that a lot, but I guess they're moving the snow so they can find the food below it. When I'm taking these walks, I'm not sure how well you guys can see, and I'm sad if you're not able to see this amazing view, because I know with, like I said earlier, the sun and the cloud coverage does block cell phone / internet reception, and so I do get those buffering in which it's like your signal is weak. So my apologies if you're unable to really enjoy this visual. Try to describe it as much as possible. Everyone should have this visual stimulation in their life. Just wanted to definitely share, and I hope you enjoy. If you do, just please hit the like and follow button. It's always great because I have these conversations in my head when I'm walking usually, and it's when I kind of think about things that I have to do, and it's really when I come up with my best ideas. If I have a problem I'm trying to solve, I take a walk and somehow, or a run, mainly a run, and usually it's like a light bulb goes off. It's like a clearing of the mind, and or the infection of nature and imagination and just all of that, and endorphins. It allows clear thinking, and that's when I come up with my best ideas. Coming close to the tunnel again, and so usually when I run at this point, I'm about at 3. It's right about my 3-mile marker. So hopefully this doesn't cut out, but We'll trot through. I said earlier, running through here at night is not my thing, and I won't. These high schoolers have been spraying graffiti and definitely disrupting my view and what I want to see when I go on these walks. I'm not sure if my phone's going to die today. I made sure I had a little bit more charge. But I also think something about the cold in the phone, like maybe these batteries drain faster when it's cold outside. Definitely gonna be hungry when I get home. I did not eat breakfast. I had just some coffee this morning. I'm actually starting to feel a little hungry. Now, as a child, growing up on a farm, I remember, sometimes I'd wake up a little late, or I get a little hungry in the afternoon, and I would just kind of run around and find where the chickens would lay their eggs, and I would grab 2 of them. It was always kind of dangerous because you had to kind of wait for the chicken to kind of walk away, and you had to grab it very fast because they would try to attack you if you took their eggs. I would grab an egg or 2 and go inside and break them and fry them and make an egg sandwich. And that was just how easy food came. And then I remember having to, for dinner, catching one of those chickens, and you would put it under the pan and chop the head off, and it would bounce around, and little body until it finally died, and we'd dip it in steaming hot water, and I'd be in charge of plucking the feathers off. And I think about that meal and the feeling of knowing that I actually, helped in catching my own meal. And even now when I cook, the flavor and the taste that came from that freshly killed chicken that was cooked is different. It was just so rich, this rich flavor. And now, I eat and food I get, but it's not that level of enjoyment as, facing the danger of the chicken attacking you and getting the eggs and going inside and frying them, or killing the chicken and plucking the feathers. And usually, I guess, you're pretty hungry at that point because you're just waiting for dinner. And now, I don't get that same enjoyment out of the meals that's store-bought, or out of the food that's cooked. It's as if that, that freshness is gone, which is why I like to go home on vacation a lot, because it's just a different the flavor, the freshness of the food. It's just so much better. Which usually equals me gaining about 5 to 10 pounds, which requires a level of running and working out when I return from vacation. But, I kind of told that story to demonstrate that I'm on this trail right now and I'm getting hungry. And usually I would be searching for some eggs, grabbing them, and going home to cook them. But now I'm gonna walk back to my house and find some eggs in the refrigerator that have been in there for maybe a few weeks, days, who knows, and cook those with some spinach and chop up an avocado and call that breakfast. But I'm definitely not going to enjoy it as much as I would have had I found a chicken with some eggs on this trail. My little buddies are gone. I didn't see them on the way back, but like I said earlier, I think they like to retreat further into the woods because they have an instinct or survivability that tells them, hey, it's snow, and the snow is white, and we are brown, and the predators and or people we're afraid of can spot us very quickly. And so they use that instinct to find food further into the woods. Usually on the other side, it's a huge, you can really see it, but it's a huge creek slash river. I don't call it a river, it's not large enough, but it's a creek that runs along this trail, and it kind of splits the innermost part of it in two, and essentially what the deer does is they go on the other side of the trail or the other side of the creek. I think they feel most safe because there's a body of water between them and whoever's coming to bother or mess with them. I hope each of you are having a great morning, and hope you took some time to go outside and enjoy. Not sure if it snowed in your local area or your state, but definitely get out there and just take a deep breath. We talk about American who hear the stories about pollution and living in these large cities like New York, and there are so many complaints, and I understand that everyone can't up and move or get out of there, but you have this, and then there's that sentiment of having this, I'm in New York. It's that feeling of living in New York that's so wonderful to a lot of people. But I've been in New York a few times, and walking down the street and taking a deep breath is not, something that was very enjoyable, in that these, the different smells depending on what street. It might be urine, smelling rotten garbage, or sometimes you might walk by, food truck and great tacos or pretzels or whatever they're making, and that smells pleasurable. But to have this experience of walking through and inhaling deeply and not having my nostril violated by something foul is definitely pleasurable. But thinking about living in those places and going back to those complaints of so many people aren't aware of living in the country and living near lots of wood and just what comes with that. And so if you live in New York, I say move to the country if you're able to. Move to a neighborhood upstate New York. Actually, upstate New York is beautiful. I've driven up and done it in the fall, and again, the beautiful trees and the mountains, and it's absolutely beautiful. And then you have the opposite of the concrete jungle that provides you this feeling of, I guess, kind of being in the future, because you have these beautiful buildings. They're beautiful, gorgeous, great to look at. However, I'm not sure. Great to visit if living in one of those buildings and facing the traffic and the people and the smells and just what comes with that is not I almost slipped and fell. It wasn't good. I didn't wear my boots today. Got some trail running shoes that I'm actually wearing the first time. They're good for cross country. They're called Merrells, and I think initially I usually wear my snow boots when I go walking in the snow, because that's what snow boots are for, right? But today I said, well, I'm gonna try these out. I got them for Christmas, and I have not worn them yet, and I was hoping that they were waterproof, because of course I probably would have turned around 2 or 3 miles ago had they not been. However, I was pleasantly surprised to see that they are waterproof, and they've been really great. I only had just that one coming up that hill of almost falling, but they're definitely great shoes. And if I ever decide that snow running is something I want to pursue, I'd probably use these. Yeah, I didn't see the fox, and probably about half a mile from leaving this trail, which is when I'll probably go ahead and say goodbye and see you tomorrow. It'd be cool if you guys would tell me where you're watching from. That would be awesome. It's a 360 view. If you hear that noise in the background, it's beautiful children sledding. They're out of school today. All the kids in the neighborhood are out of school today. So they come outside, which is awesome because being outside instead of sitting at home on their phones and playing video games and absorbed in technology is definitely better. So I think I started off with about 90% coming out here, but it's funny because now my phone has limited the view for the screen darkened, which is telling me that I guess phone's gonna die again. Which is crazy because at 87% should definitely have some power for a few hours. I will say I do believe now that yes, the cold drains your batteries pretty fast. I'm sure there's a Google article or something out there, user manual, that tells you that, hey, anything under this temperature will impact the life of your battery. Small print that I didn't read. But I'm definitely learning by being out here. When I usually run in the mornings and it's cold, this actually is not a problem because my battery is usually in my phone's usually in my pocket. I have an inside pocket in my jacket, and so yes, with it being closer to my body, it's a little warmer, and therefore, thus the battery is not impacted. But now I'm walking and it's in my hand and it's out,